Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we're gonna take a look at the Jagdpanther 2 from Tank Company that is coming in crates unfortunately, but trust me, it's definitely worth it because of how crazy that tank is. Currently, it's probably my favorite premium and I'm just playing it again and again and again because hopefully I will soon be able to purchase the mighty one, the Object 120, but as you can see, yeah, I still lack some credits. But let's go back to our ship. Why should we buy the Jagdpanther 2? First of all, I would like us all to take a look at the statistics when the tank is fully equipped. And by fully equipped, I mean with the right modules that you can see right there, plus the adrenaline, all the modules, etc, etc, fully upgraded. And basically, the first thing you will see is how crazy the DPM of that thing is, because you are sitting at 2,500, securing a 490 alpha damage per shell, which is wide enough to nearly 3-shot everything in the game at tier 6. And obviously, as in this game you nearly never ever encounter low tier or upper tier, I can tell you that you are gonna hit hard. On top of that, it seems like it's currently one of the greatest accuracy in the game at tier 6, because you are sitting at 0.30 gun dispersion when you are using the right equipments. The aim time is really good, 2.5 seconds. But most importantly, something I really love about it is the fact that it has 7 degrees of gun depression. Do not get scared by the fact that the tank seems to be quite high. With those 7 degrees of gun depression, you are really gonna feel versatile, specifically if you are playing from a hill or on a little slope. For the other statistics, and most specifically the maneuverability, if you use the same equipments as me, you are gonna be pretty fast, going around 50 kilometers per hour on the battlefield, which means that at the beginning of the game, you can take advanced and aggressive positions, and at the end of the game, if you need to relocate, you can do it quite easily. The only little problem that the tank has is the turn speed that is not necessarily the greatest, but it's still in the norm and will do the job as long as you're not getting circled by a light tank. To finish off, there is one thing I don't like about the tank, but I guess it's a bug and it's going to be fixed by the developers pretty soon. The fact that there is a weak spot that shouldn't exist, which is the gun mantlet. When you take a look at the tank like that, you're thinking that it's literally impossible to penetrate it, right? It tells nearly 500 millimeters to penetrate, which means that nobody can go through. Well, no. If people are shooting directly into your gun, they will penetrate. It's extremely frustrating sometimes, but little to no people are aware of that, so it should save your ass. For the rest, if people are not knowing about this weak spot and try to shoot here, it's going to be literally impossible for them to penetrate, because when you use your 7 degrees of gun depression, you are going to have something like 300 millimeters of raw armor. And of course, as you can see, based on the difference there is between the plate here and the plate here, you understand that when you play with this tank, you want to only show the upper part of the hull, which is the most armored. Now, let's take a look at some quick replay. And here we are with our mighty premium trying to rush through the enemy lines. Basically, you're gonna see it at first, and I'm gonna let the replay go on for the moment, but when you take a look at the kilometer per hour, you see that it goes extremely fast. We are already at 50 kilometers per hour within the first 15 seconds of the game. Of course, as I don't like showing too much things that are useless, we are gonna speed up the replay a little bit to get straight into action. So what I'm currently doing here is taking a position from which I can hide the lower part of my hull. And this is what I want to show you briefly here. You see that my tank is going like in this position here, because from that position I can hide this part and only show the upper part of my tank. And this is what is extremely important to understand and what you must do with this thing in order to survive. It's not illogical that they gave it 7 degrees of gun depression. It means that you need to use them. And in order to do that, well, find those great positions. So at least for this map, you will get the position. So now all we have to do, as it's quite easy, is penetrating the opponents like it's nothing. I mean, they are probably not going to focus on us for 2 reasons. First, because the guys we're playing against right now are bots, and second, because it's going to be extremely hard for them to be able to penetrate. Now, I would like to come back on the alpha damage of that tank. Usually, when you buy a premium, the more damage you do, the more credits you are gonna make. And this is why, in my opinion, not only is the Jagdpanther 2 definitely a great tank with which you're gonna have fun, but at the same time, as you have 490 alpha damage, you are gonna climb those damage pretty fast. And the fact that you are able to do this will make you get more credits than if you were using a regular premium like maybe a Jagdpanther 4-5 or things like that. And this is why, in my opinion, they put it in crates. They did not want it to give it away as easy as that for 1.4 thousand gold, because probably of this factor. But let's reconsider things. As you can see in this replay, as it was one of the first I did with the tank, I only have 12 seconds of reload. Whereas right now, currently with the Brother-in-Arms, or not Brother-in-Arms, I forgot the name of it, but the skill that allows you to increase all the statistics of your crew member by 2.5%, I dropped down to 11.8 seconds, but 12 or 11.8, it's probably the exact same thing. So now what we're doing is not rushing. The Jagdpanther 2 is not a tank with which you want to rush. Yes, you can take advanced and aggressive positions at the beginning of the game, like I did, but as you can see, I'm not bothering or trying anything like pushing through the enemy's defenses and things like that. This is not what the tank is meant for, and please, I beg you, do not try this. You are a tank destroyer, and you need to fit the tank destroyer role, which means that you need your allies to spot for you. You need, if you want to go first line, actually, you can do it. But if you do, you need to make sure that you will obviously make the right move. The right move is waiting for your allies to go first. You can be right behind them, like 5 meters away, but you make sure not to be the subject of the shot from your opponents. And if you do this, you should be able to stack damage pretty fast. Now let's advance once more the replay, because it's going to be a long and painful grind to the end. So let's see. If I remember correctly, the Jagdpanther, yeah, is going to pop. I'm gonna miss him once. Let's reload real fast. And going back to the replay. Here, well, see Jagdpanther, thanks for coming. And once again, we are gonna go for some speeding up. So there we go, there is this fella that is going to die, and now it's only a matter of time before we finish off all the remaining opponents. If I'm not mistaken, right now we're facing only bots, yes, exactly. So it's not going to be either interesting or hard to take a look at. What we do is going in, killing the first one, waiting for the lava to spot for us. And as it's also a bot, I realized that I'm gonna have to spot for myself. So there we go, sneaking one shell on that boy, killing it, sitting at 5.7 thousand damage, securing my last kill when I will be able to see him. And oh boy, don't we see a Type 59. First shot in, we go in straight, and as he's not looking at us at all except for the end, we finish him off, securing 6.5 thousand damage and 8 kills. Overall, if I had to summarize the Jagdpanther 2, mobility, strong armor, strong gun. So overall, definitely a great tank to play with, as long as, recap, you know that you have this weak spot that is your whole gun. So hopefully you will get one if you try to get it, because you have 5% chances of getting it every time you open a crate, and each crate is equal to around €1.5, something like that. So hopefully you will get lucky enough to get one. If that's the case, feel free to tell me in the comments. I'm gonna see you soon for a new tank company video that is probably going to be about the SU-100P. First, I want to make sure that I buy the Object 120, and after I will be able to equip my SU-100P and therefore do a review. But it seems to be a great tank because based on the firepower it has without anything equipped, it's simply a beast. I'm gonna see you soon for a new video, and hopefully take care of you. Bye.